Hey, how's it going, guys? 3% Energy here. Welcome back to another episode of Ace Attorney Investigation Collection. Continue from where we left off. Yes, last episode we got a visitor in our office who happened to be dead. And the blame is being put on the security officer Maggie as well as the detective Gumshoe. Time to figure out who the killer actually is. But we already know. They don't know, however. And that's the problem. Welcome back! March 14, 4:18 a.m. Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway. What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable. Please maintain your professionalism, detective. I'm going to find some real evidence. Some solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir. But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then, what now? Looks like my life's fallen into another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bride. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Wait a minute, I'm getting the voices mixed up. This is why I don't do voice acting. Really, sir? For example, this hallway. The linchpin of this argument against Miss Bride is related to the master key. In this case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information. Regarding the mystery surrounding my door, Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna figure out everything from this hallway. Nice, okay. Alright, so we got a basketball here. I do like that you can just you can walk around. What is this basketball doing here? That's Mr. Portsmouth's prized possession, sir. Freddy also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. Oh, it's this guy. What's up, dude? Looks like you're in quite a pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. You must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly. Post haste. Sounds like a messy case you've got your hands on. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious. I will keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again? Oh, I love that he just doesn't remember him. Is everything alright? Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning and I finally had 154 pounds. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway in this room. Oh, everything's okay, sir. A word of advice, stay focused or you may start to lose even more weight. Man, that's a lot of lost weight there. I wish I was that weight, kinda. Actually, no, I wish I was like 200 at least. I'm more than that. I'm not saying any more than that. This office. 1203. Hey Maggie, whose room is this again? It's Mr. Portsman, sir. So he's my new neighbor, I see. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas. Oops, wrong button. What is this basketball hoop doing here? Hey, didn't this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago? So when and why is it moved indoors? I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it? I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it in himself. All the way up to the 12th floor? Holy. I won't rest until I inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Oh. Trouble 2. These 4 numbers on the number plate alone proclaim this is my office. Whoops. Hey, these number plates slide right out, sir. They have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know? Although, the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of... I don't see any signs of forced entry. And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning that the door really was open with a key. Do you happen to ask any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. A minimalist yet classy door made of top quality wood. It's thoroughly made, making it near impossible to break in by force. It's almost majestic, sir. I wish I could be as stately as this door. Only Gumshoe would praise a door as something greater than himself. Being a detective has its own rewards and a certain virtuous value, I think. If you live up to your full potential, that's a poignant trait that anyone can admire. I see. So you're saying, sir, that me being me is the best thing I can do for everyone? Right. That long pause wasn't exactly reassuring. You gotta love Gumshoe. Okay. Oh, there's something under here. I won't rest until I inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. Okay. Is this the book? It's... It's another missing Old Sears foul, sir. No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark as clear as day. There seems to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind. So what are these old files about, sir? I guess they got something worth stealing in them, huh? Not particularly. It's just a collection of court cases files. However, that case within the files are not mine. Huh? They belong to the high prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were. Then that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing. I wonder why anyone would care so much about an old case. Huh, unless it was related to the case, like the prosecutor. Like that other prosecutor. The one that actually committed the murder? Let's see. A well-crafted, high-quality sofa for visitors. The stitching is excellent. Talk about a luxury waiting area. These babies are also great for napping, you know. You would sleep even out here, detective. In a hallway. Whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimonies up at a stand. But it always ends the same way. Me getting trounced by a lawyer. Isn't that awful? Maybe I should give it a try sometime to envision myself winning naturally. Edgeworth, you wouldn't mind sleeping in your hallway? I just don't see that. Oh, wait a minute. How come there's no check mark? Is there still more to be checked? There's a check mark there. Doesn't appear to be anything else to check. Why is, weird. Okay, let's step away. Let's talk to her. I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of this courtroom, but this is like a dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth. I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing my notes to her with T. So the victim. Have you ever met the victim before? Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman, it's such a weird name, Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir. That sounds like fun, just once. I'd love to play with them. It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsmouth. Oh, Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was passing the ball, sir. On second thought, I don't think I'll fit in at all with them. Alright, Maggie. Miss Maggie Bride, correct? I take it that you are an acquaintance of the detective. She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going down here. So she quit. But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night. You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct? Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building. Oh! I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. And now I even managed to be named a criminal just when I become a security guard. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. I know! It's just when I thought I had finally found my happiness. I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck. You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bride, nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. You can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. Let's present. Okay, let's present the key. Present. So when did you discover that the master key was missing? By the time I realized it, I thought it was around 1 a.m., sir. And I noticed it was back around 2:30. Alright, so from 1 a.m. it went missing, and it came back at 2:30. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room reception window is. But I'm sure that between those two times, it was not just gone, but stolen, sir. Okay, cool. So we got a time frame now for the key. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place? It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say, except for this time, correct? Well, I admit that I was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge. She used the master key? Huh. Well, she used it. You used the master key? What did you mean by you used the master key? Oh, I had to use it to open up the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key. Oh. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? What is it? That's right. I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir. What? Please tell me more, Miss Bride, quickly. Forgetful Mr. Portsman. It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir. Wait, okay, so you used it at 1, right? Or at least you noticed it was lost at 1. And that's when you loaned the master key to him? No way! It's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir. I see. And then what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close up to his office, so he was leaving to go home. Oh, he called me to come close up his office. He was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 a.m., I think. So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight? Wait, that's not possible. That's a contradiction, isn't it? Because, like, It was lost from 1 to 2:30? Am I wrong on that? Talk about suspicious. I doubt you can say that you've never left your keys at home, Detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Okay. Oops, oops. Mr. Z on that. Alright, so his door. Let's go. Let's test it. I won't rest until I inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. Alright, so this is door. Room 1203. I take it this is Mr. Portsman's office. Yeah, you can't mistake it because of the basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portsman actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir. So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting to room 1202? I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd. Yep, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why. I can think of at least 3. Why am I even wasting time thinking about this? About the door? The door is locked tight. I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? This is the office of a high prosecutor, Detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them. Ah, so I guess only a great cat burglar can get in. That must be who the culprit is. Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from? Are we gonna just talk about the door again? Alright, is a thorough examination? Wait, are we... Yeah, he's saying the same thing. Alright, so he says the same thing to my door. Alright. Nonsense. Let's just keep moving. Wait. He still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne. Oops! He's actually saying something different? Mr. Payne? I suppose custodial work can also be dignified. Oops. Alright, well, whatever. It's Mr. Portsman's personal basketball hoop. I can't believe he put something like this in the hallway of a prosecutor's office. But you know, it's actually pretty useful, sir. I haven't gotten lost trying to get to your office since it's been there. How long have I had the same office and yet you still managed to get lost? Huh. So this is like a landmark. Okay, that's it, I guess. Let's go out. I managed to press Z this time. So, what else? We did an examination. That still doesn't have a check mark, which is weird. Okay, maybe let's put some stuff together. That contradiction. Okay, so the contradiction was the master key. The key was used to unlock the lock of Portsman's office at 12 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. But this key went missing from 1 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. That doesn't make any sense. Connect. Miss Bright, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal. I mean, sir. You said that you locked up Mr. Portsmouth's... I want to say Portsmouth so bad. I can't help myself. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? Well, if the master key has already been stolen at that time. Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw the contradiction like a pro. I had totally forgotten all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right. It was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing. And, well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir. You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking it up, sir. So in actuality, you never did relock the door then? Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Mr. Portsman's office jotted down in the organizer. Huh, so this door is open then? Let me see. The door is locked tight. Huh. I bet though. Oh wait, hold on. So is this door open? Deduce? Is this somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? So she said this door wasn't locked. Locked the door, but mask key was stolen, so she couldn't lock it up. That's right. Eureka! There's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. If what Miss Bride has said is true, then why is this door locked tight? Huh? You know, you're right. Miss Bride, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I am certain of it, sir. I don't think Mr. Portsmouth noticed it himself that I hadn't. Which means what, sir? It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bright opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. She opened a different door? But how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is, we need to examine these. Prints on the master key, prints on a doorknob, prints on a number plate. You think maybe prints on a doorknob? My door was wiped clean, right? So you can remove the number plates pretty easily. Okay, I'm thinking prints on a number plate because you can remove the number plate and then swap it, right? That'd be pretty easy. But I wonder if you can use the prints on the master key too, because like the prints, like her prints is on the key, and if he stole it, then couldn't like we can see like whose print is on the key? I don't know if I'm thinking wrong on this though. Okay, I gotta examine something. All right, I guess I'll examine the prints on the plates. The prints on the number plates, they will tell us all we need to know. Everything? Really? Like what, sir? That was wrong? Well, we know for sure that Detective Gumshoe's dinner will only consist of instant noodles. Wow, that was amazing, sir. How did you know? That was supposed to be a joke to cheer me up, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, that's it. Now then, let's get back to what we need to do, that is. I told you I'm not a smart man. I don't get it. Okay, fine. We'll do the prints on the master key then? I'm running out of health. I'm scared. Oh man. Alright. I got these two. It's a 50-50 chance. Alright, 50-50 chance. So I do like any, mini, miny, mo. Let's do prints on the doorknob. The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything. Hey you, yeah, you pal, do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? Alright, that must have been it. I think the prints on the master key would have made sense too though. This is why I'm not a detective. So, what did you find out? There's no need for such belligerent nostril flaring, detective. Sir, I found Mr. Postman with the postman's and Mr. Face prints on the doorknob. So only 2 people prints were found on his... That's pretty decisive. I'm lost, sir. Thinking logically, I'm certain other person's print should be on this doorknob as well. Yeah, Miss Bride. Now then, whose print should be on this doorknob? Hers. Present.
Take that!
Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent? You mean, yes, the door that Miss Bright opened could not have been this one, but a different one. Mr. Portsman's office data updated in my organizer. Miss Bright says she unlocked this door, but her prints were not found on the doorknob. What do we hear? I won't rest till I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Okay. Oh, wait. Look at this. This has been moved. Recently. It's like when you move furniture and you see the imprint that you had on your furniture. This is basically this. What's this? What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game? That's okay, detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off. Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk. The position of the hoop is definitely unnatural. Better take note of this. It's sitting in front of Postman's office. There are signs that it's been moved. Alright, you gotta know. What is this? Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch you later, buddy. Oh. Okay, so Buddy came to his office with 3 pieces of evidence. Yeah, it's for Mr. Portsman. Note left by the victim, that in the organizer. Found under the door. Okay. Investigation complete. Yes, give me my health back. Let's go. Walking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. How, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case. You know who the killer is? Wow, Miss Edgeworth? As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The master behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman? I knew it. That's exactly what my logic sensor were telling me too. I suspected it with him the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logical. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come with me, it's time to knock on truth's door. March 15, 5:12 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, Room 1202. Mr. Portsman, I finished... Portsman. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letter, sir. Alright, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Okay, looking good, you 3. You there, take good care of this. Hit him in the head. Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe. End of the line for you, Portsman. We've got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jacques Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case. You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'm mad too. So I guess you can stay if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. I can see right through your unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Who'd ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this insistent chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Well, aren't we full of ourselves, even though you have yet to prove anything? Let's go! Mr. Postman's rebuttal. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind. There's a mountain of evidence that point away from me being the culprit. Besides, how may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Well, with the master key. Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I got work to do, so we're done here. Sorry, but we're not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something. I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on with evidence. Okay, we're going to do exactly what we always do. We are going to press everything. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but hold it! Hold it! My accusation is a harebrained idea, is it? You tell me. I'll say it is, after all. There's a mountain of evidence that point away from me being the culprit. Hold it! Oh? And what, pray tell, kind of evidence are we talking about here? Jim was my partner, so you can't say I had a motive for killing him. And that's it? That's not even an anthill, let alone a mountain. But it's more than enough, wouldn't you agree? Might I recommend that you review what the word evidence mean? It doesn't change the fact that the evidence doesn't point to me as the killer. Besides, how may I ask do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Well, you didn't unlock it, but oh, my door was unlocked because she came to my door instead, right? Hold it! Because your door is still locked? Unfortunately, I believe I've already shown how earlier. Your speculations mean nothing, as I still insist that I could not gain access to your room. What should I do now? Should I raise an objection? Oh, snap, a press led to an objection. Yes. You claim to have no way to open my door. However, it's that really the honest truth? Alright, I'll humor you. Go ahead, shoot. Very well, then. I propose that you use this to open my door. Isn't it just a master key? I'm pretty sure. Master key. Take that! I believe that you were able to open my door with the master key, no less. Objection! Wait. Hold on for a second. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely, you were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. Oh, he's sweating? That's right. You use your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key. Here we go, we're getting somewhere. I need to stop using the mouse. Present. Take that! You had Miss Bright to open up your own office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know? But the room you had Miss Bright open at that time was not your own, was it? What? You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain that it was Mr. Postman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. See, Miss Bright backs up my story. Yet, what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted? And how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on the door, for example. That's right. They do slide out pretty easily. I was thinking the same thing. Furthermore, you did use one other thing to give a very strong impression. That the door she was opening was yours and not, in fact, mine. Is it the hoop? What was that Mr. Postman used to make Mr. Bright think that it was his room? Is like the hoop, isn't it? Because it's always by his door and we already know that it was moved.
Take that!
Let's go! I'm so big brain today. What? The basketball hoop, sir? It was moved. It's quite the peculiar fixture in a hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusual strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. Ah, let's go! That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's. There are signs that the hoop has been moved. To sit in front of my office, to be sure. I see. So that's how you throw suspicion at people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. Conjecture. Rebuttal. Oh man, this is getting... My freaking fingers is freaking sweaty on the keyboard right now. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door? After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. Alright, that was really short. So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bride is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. My jacket is not dirty, I'll have you know. I just washed it yesterday. Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. Rebuttal. Again! Why doesn't he just walk away? It's not like he's under arrest. Now you're just spotting nonsense. Press.
Hold it!
Nonsense, you say? Yes, because I'm telling the truth here. I had the girl open up my office door.
Hold it!
Using the master key, of course. Sure, you have a problem with that? That is what the master key is for, right? Perhaps we should place it on an elaborate labyrinth of some sort for people like you. After that, I was in my room the entire time.
Hold it!
No, he wasn't! Because the other prosecutor, the victim, came to his office and he wasn't there. And what were you doing in your office? I was doing my usual training regimen. Training regimen? Were you going through your law books from start to finish? Mainly betting practice and some weights. Oh, and I jog when I get the chance. Wow, you must be the buffest prosecutor we have. With the weakest legal muscles, it would seem. I was doing my usual workout, so... You don't have a single reason to suspect me. Hold on, no, we do. Let's go back to this. I was in my room the entire time. That is not correct to present. Let me see, E to present. Nah, bro. We have a letter found underneath the door. I brought in 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you was out. You was out! Guess I'll catch up with you later, buddy. Alright. We got you on this. Present this.
Objection!
Yeah! I love when he does that with his finger. That was a lie. What are you talking about? How was that a lie? This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman. A note? It was left under your door, or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you are out. Got him! You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then, where were you and what were you doing? Ah! Shall I explain in full detail for you? You were busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Bright open for you. That's just nonsense. You have no evidence that I made the girl open your door for me? Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence. No way! This is proof positive that you had Miss Bright open the door for you. For you, huh? Okay, hold on. I mean the master key? Pages pertaining to, wait, how does it prove? Oh, is it this? Let's try the office. Miss Bright says she unlocked this door. The prints! The fingerprints!
Take that!
Let's go! I had your door dusted for prints. My door? Huh, what for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right, I didn't find anything. And definitely not Miss Bright's fingerprints. Her prints? What do they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her print should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Further, all of the prints on my office doorknob have been wiped clean. I can only assume it's because Miss Bright's fingerprints were on it. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out. Also because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Poltzmans, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. He's sweating. As I said, when you had the gun to my back. No one gets away with committing murder in my office. And just what's so funny, pal? Well, that look of stiff seriousness on your face, this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Miss Edgeworth just explained it all. He even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's all circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that knob down well. Eh? I'm a little obsessive compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched, which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only gems in my own prints would be there. You made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived in the office. Like early evening, for example. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Even James's fell at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse. Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. But you can't prove that, can you? He's got a pretty serious alibi there. Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir. Horseman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? I only just realized I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for us all if I had told you sooner. Oh man, Portsman's alibi. If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had the unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the evidence detective will corroborate my story. It's a perfect alibi. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself. Detective Gumshoe. Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check his alibi, sir. Be right back. Sorry, I'm making human noises. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Postman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said that they saw him around 2 a.m. You see? So if he was there around 2 a.m., then he wasn't the guy that pulled the gun on me? All of the evidence points to him being the culprit. So there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. Rebuttal. Another one. If memory serves, you came back to this office around 2 a.m., correct?
Hold it!
You are correct. It was around 2 a.m. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time. I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2. Oh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2. And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit.
Hold it!
It is as you say. However, you are the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw? It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Objection!
Oh, come on now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here. Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in the criminal affairs.
Hold it!
So you paid the criminal affairs department a visit. Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's a perfect alibi.
Hold it!
Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony. And it was just as I said, right? Yes, sir. A number of detectives said that they saw you at around that time. See? I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve. It's like he knows, man. Impossible. He actually does have the perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we've reached the end of the line, and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there. Sir, please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle. Maggie! Detective Gumshoe! Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt in his alibi? The intruder I met could not have been Postman. Then who could have been? I need to calmly think this through one more time and with logic. Okay. Files in disarray. The culprit rearranged my files twice. Once before and once after the murder. Why? The intruder I met could not have been a okay, so it couldn't have been him. Then who could it have been? What button was it? Space. Other than the victim's gun that I found, Could there be another gun in play here? Let's connect these two. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life. And one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once. Meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person, which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. Maybe the victim had this killer, and his killer weren't the only visitors in my office. Well, there's only these 2, so easy. Supposing that yet another visitor tonight, that will also resolve the issue of why my shelves were upended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, so it should have been much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it, and once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back, Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great, so you finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I'd assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was just your average thief. A thief? But sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts? Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight. What do you mean, 2? It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman's tricked Miss Bride and gained entry into my office.
Objection!
Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know? If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Sure. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then, this would be when the files were back in the wrong order, right? Correct. And then, just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith? But why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir? He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into the office to check it out. Correct. And as a detective, that was his right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsman's, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. He's biting his metal. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my fowls. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind. Oh. You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that? Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another visitor, sir. Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman's left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems that the thief found their prize and stole old fowl, right, sir? Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the fowl, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during the brief encounter. So the shelves getting messed up twice, and the two bullets. It was all because two different people were doing those things in two different times. Man, that is so coincidental. Like, really? That is extremely coincidental. Hold on, I need to take a sip of some water. Holy, I've been talking for a while now. Oh man, water. Definitely need that after all that talking. Precisely. So now that you see Mr. Portsman, the person I met was just a thief and was not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant, because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit. Okay, then where's the other person? What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth after all. But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there is still one defining point of your argument, for which you have no evidence. Your superstition that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir. But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must. You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is it that person is not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. His alibi part 2. This just keeps going. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at the criminal affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. So you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course. Now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions. I don't think that it's dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. How come he has no blood on him? He should have at least some type of splatter of blood on him, especially on like that really white coat of his, though the blood wouldn't really show up in this pink outfit. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say?
Hold it!
Actually, no, I wouldn't. Well, why not? That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Fave's killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them. You mean the old file, right? And that's how we also know the letters themselves were a setup and not from Mr. Fave. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves? Oh! Maybe the killer just didn't think of that earlier, either. Yes, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe. We should be out there looking for the thief right now. They might be nearby.
Hold it!
Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby. Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after? Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief. It's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything, after all. I hate to repeat myself, but as I already said, I was training in my room.
Hold it!
But according to Mr. Fave's note, hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left the note for me in this early evening? If you have proof that he left it in a different time, say, just before he was murdered. I don't have any, no. You see? So I insist again that I was in my office the entire time. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down in the criminal affairs.
Hold it!
This is true. Why didn't you go there with Jim, Mr. Fave? Ah, that's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. Wait a second. Wait. He left a note saying that you wasn't there, but when did he say he was tired and going to take a quick nap? So y'all met up? You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. And what of the evidence he bought? There were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant. Oh. Wait a minute, he bought 3! There was 3! In the note he said 3. Interesting, this piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks. Hold on. No. We're going back. When Jim came to deliver the evidence to me and down to criminal affairs. Okay, hold on. Let's present. In the note, there's literally 3. It was 3. Let's just look at it real quick. 3 pieces of evidence. So, let's present this. Oh, hold on. T.
Objection!
It would behoove you to take a good look at this. I see it, but I fail to see how it's anything to do with me. What? That's not right! Wait, that's not right. Did I present it on the wrong thing? I need to remain calm. Only by doing so can I find the fatal flaw in his reasoning. Maybe I presented it, and when he came to Vincent, I was down in criminal affairs. Oh, I presented it on the wrong thing. He bought me 2 items, a gun and a pendant. That would be related to yesterday's case. Oops. Okay, hold on. Let's go to present. Present this.
Objection!
I love it when the music stops. That's how I know I'm right. Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is you fail. Excuse me? You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Well, there's a piece I think you should read carefully. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up with you later. Ah! It says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman. I can't believe to get tripled by this simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence? You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe? You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. Why'd you do that? Don't come any closer. I'm warning you. This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me. No! Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide. But why would he hide something like that? There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber, because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail for the section of the tape that will drive the last nail in this coffin. Okay. I can rotate, right? Oh, there it is! It's blood, dude! Blood. Ah! That's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood? No! You got it all wrong! No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way into this video? Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was that the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him? You know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints? Oh, the fingerprints! If I had to take a guess, I'll say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith. No! Impossible! I'm gone! He swallowed it! And then passed out. March 14th, 5:47 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Man, these guys are up early, dude. Mr. Portman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir. Very good. And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. This is crazy. We did a whole case outside of the courtroom. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in this murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. Oh, it was nothing really, compared to what I've been through. I mean, I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If I had been a holdup or a hostage situation, I'd thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune, just an unlucky person. Something. She said she's raising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. And why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard that there was a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Oh, that guy was a complete disgrace for the entire profession. We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever we got near the topic, he just clammed up. Although we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir. There's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh, well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly leads credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this. Huh? Then Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy? I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance to this one piece of evidence. The significance to this one piece of evidence? Excuse me? What would that be? I guess this? Pertaining to a case tried 10 years ago? Maybe this? I mean, we're already done.
Take that!
The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night. Yeah, I wonder who it was. And what happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Miss Edgeworth, sir. Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card. What is it, sir? Is there a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It is the mark of a raven, a three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? The great thief everyone's talking about? Yes. It is the mark of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about the thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is perpetrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back. What? Let me see. It's the location of where the thief puts the stolen files. So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu. Organization. Quite a few key words are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming, for they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. The end. Oh man, this is like a freaking storybook, man. So good. Hey, I got a trophy. Turnabout visitor. All right. Looks like this is the end of the first chapter, maybe? It did say the end. Good stuff. Episode 1 is complete. We are going, or I am going to call it an episode here, guys. Man, it is so much reading to this, but it is so good. As I'm reading this and going through it, I am just like, I am focused on the case at hand, and it is so good. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are enjoying the new episodes that I'm bringing to your faces and to your TV screens or phone screens or whatever you're watching this on. If you enjoyed the video and you like this kind of content, consider dropping a like and subscribe to see more videos just like this one. I am 3% Ninja. I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye and be good people.